Hi, it's Scott from Page Logic, and today I'm here with you to do an introductory video on logging into WordPress and getting familiar with the back end of WordPress. So to do that, we've got a test site set up that we're going to be using, and the first step is to get to the login screen. How you do that in WordPress is that you add a little bit to the end of your page URL, so your home page URL, and here I've got mine. And what we're adding is wp-admin. That's the same on all WordPress sites. And we hit enter, and that takes us to the login screen. My details are already in there, saved from a previous session, but you'd enter your username and password. You can get WordPress to remember you so that your details are pre-filled like that. And also, if you've lost your password, you can click on that link and it will send an email to the address you've got in the back end of WordPress. And there's also a link back to the home page. If you didn't really want to be in this position, you can head back. Anyhow, so let's log in. And logging in takes us to the back end of WordPress where we see the dashboard. That's where you end up when you first log in. What we'll notice on the page is this large central section, the dashboard, or the central editing area, or whatever you want to call it. And we have a top menu there in black, and we have a sidebar menu down the left-hand side. The top menu replicates a lot of the things that can happen on the side menu. So it's just like a quick access menu. This central area is where all the action happens in WordPress, where you edit posts, create pages, do all those sorts of things. And we'll look at that in more detail when we look at each of the things you need to learn how to do to maintain your website. We won't go into this area so much now. We're mainly looking at the menus and just getting a general feel for this area. So in the top menu, let's look at that first. There is a WordPress logo, and it links to various WordPress website pages that give you information on how WordPress works and all the background to it. There is a link to your website. So clicking on either of these two links will take you over to your website. What I like to do is open my website in a new tab, so I can be working on the back end over here in this tab and able to quickly switch to the front end to see what my changes are when I've made them. That's just a tip. 3 updates. This little icon here tells you that you have some updates to do. So just plugins or themes might need updating from time to time. This little icon tells you how many comments you've got. Most websites will probably not use comments, and if you do use them, you can expect to get some sort of comment spam as well. So there's ups and downs to using comments, but we'll talk about that more later. And new, this is a quick way to add a post, a page, media, users, just a quick access to some of the functions that we'll see on the left-hand menu in a minute. Keep on moving over, we come to your profile details. This is where you would log out, where you can edit your profile, add a little picture for yourself, change your you can't change your username, but you can change lots of other details such as your contact email address, your name, etc. So that's just updating your profile. And just below that there are screen options where you can turn on or off the things that appear on the page in this main editing area. So we can turn off various items or turn them back on, whatever we want to do. So that's an option. And then there's also the help link here, which links you through to WordPress help of different types. So going back over here to the left-hand side, we have this left-hand menu. Features of this menu are that as you hover over sections, you will get flyouts like that. And not all of them have flyouts. So that's how that works. And also this menu here can be collapsed using this button here, just to give you more space if you're working on a smaller screen, or if you accidentally hit it and you're wondering where your menu's gone. This is possibly what's happened. So collapse menu. What we'll do is we'll work down the left-hand menu here and look at the main features of this menu. The important thing to remember is you might not see exactly what I'm seeing here. I'm logged in with admin, with an admin role, so I see the full list of options. Depending on the role you've got, you may not see all these things, but generally you will see most of these things that are up the top. And we'll just run through the main items on this menu. Well, we've got home, which takes us, and dashboard, and home is the same thing. It will take us to this page, the dashboard. Updates, this is again an overview of your updates, same as this little icon here. Posts, this gives you access to the blog posts on your website, and this is where you would add new ones, set up categories, and create tags for your posts. So posts are different from pages. Posts are chronological blog type news entries that the latest one will push down the older ones. So they behave differently to a page would. A page is just a static fixed page, and it doesn't necessarily do anything or can't be made to appear in different arrangements within reason. So that's the main difference between a post and a page. But apart from that, they're very, very similar. So that's posts. Media, this is where you add images, sound files, PDFs, all sorts of media will be added here to your library. And so that's that option. Pages, as we just mentioned, pages and posts, but pages are the static pages on your site, such as the About page or the Contact Us page, or those sort of standard pages. They'll all be pages in most cases. And so from this place is where you create new pages or edit existing ones. Comments, if you've got comments turned on, this is where you can moderate comments, delete them, move them to spam, etc. This link, Genesis, is for the theme. So the theme that you're operating or using on your website will have different options, and this is where you can access those options. I'm pretty sure that's an admin role. You wouldn't see that as an editor or other roles. Appearance, again, I think it's an admin role. We'll check on that. But appearance is where you can adjust the theme that you're currently running. You can swap themes. You can customize the existing theme, change some basic colors and fonts and different looks. Widgets, we'll talk about what they are in more detail later, but this is where you access them and change them. Menus, you can change menus, modify headers, background, etc. Plugins, WordPress makes a lot of use of plugins to achieve certain functionality, and this is where you install them and manage them. Users, as the admin, you have the ability to add new users. If you were logged in as an editor or another role, you'd probably only see this link, your profile. But this is where we would add new users. Tools, not hugely used in WordPress that much, but there are some options here that may be used from time to time. And global settings for your website in this section is that's where these are found. Generally, your website will come preset and configured to operate in a certain way, but from time to time, you or your web designer might need to tweak certain things within the settings pane. So that is the left-hand menu. So just going back over what we covered, this is the dashboard area where you first log in to WordPress. You have a top menu, the black strip there. You have a left-hand menu. The menu collapses, and they're the main things to watch out for when you're starting to get familiar with WordPress. The only other thing left to do is to log out, and we do that by going here to the profile corner and selecting log out. And there we're logged out. So that is an intro to WordPress, logging in, getting familiar with the back end, and logging out. Thanks for watching.